April 23rd here. Pretty nice day for upstate New York, about 50 degrees, light rain. Wanted to share with you guys this Pro HD. This is a brand new machine. It's going to be heading to Maine sometime here in the next couple of days to our good friends at Davis & Sons Logging and Equipment in Rumford, Maine, or thereabouts. But before we send it up there, I thought I'd do a video. So this machine here is a Pro HD. It is a full-size frame and has a 3-cylinder diesel engine, 22 gallon per minute pump. Pretty quick. It's got a 5-inch cylinder as equipped, also available the 4-inch. And for the money, it's a real stout machine. So let's take a closer look at it here. We've got, start here at the axles, two 5,000-pound axles. And those are leaf springs, electric brakes all around, fully DOT legal light set, so you can drive this down the road as fast as your heart desires. The frame is a stout 5x2, 3/16 wall, fully boxed tube frame all the way around. So this thing's built to last, real rigid. And then on the splitter beam, if you get in here close with the camera, you can see there's my thumb right there. That's a 1-inch thick plate, and that's a 1-inch thick plate right there. And then this here is two 1-inch thick plates welded together in the middle. So that beam is incredibly strong. It's going to last just a very long time, and the rigidity it provides for that splitting wedge is incredible. I'll just use that word again. So you got your splitter beam right there. And then up here in the trough area, 1/2-inch plate for your log cradles. Your push block, it's a fully encased push block. So this whole thing slides out with the cylinder when you cut. So you can't get anything caught behind the cylinder and do a bunch of damages. And that's 1/4-inch wall there, and then full 1/2-inch push block, fully greasable with all your wear plates in there. And again, these wear plates, they're replaceable. They're designed to wear out before your beam does, and all you got to do is loosen some bolts, put in the wear plate. So again, built to last. Firewood chute here. Again, you can see those two 1-inch pieces I was talking about earlier, and then this 1-inch backstop here, fully gusseted with 1/2-inch plate to expand the weld area. So again, this is built to last. And then 1-inch solid bars here. That provides a little bit of fine separation for your grates. And then on the walls, you've got 3/8 thick material, and it's bowed out to allow for some expansion relief, guide that firewood into your conveyor. And we come around here on this machine, you got your operator station. Now we do it different than most. Most people have their operator station on the same size as a live deck. The reason we put it here is to allow another operator to safely load that live deck and put the operator on this side so he can be cutting while the live deck's getting loaded. And this whole frame is protecting the guy running the machine from any errant logs flying around through there and whacking in the head. So that's why it's over here. And then you've got a pretty simple, and that's really the key to this machine, is simplicity. It's fully hydraulic control, so you've got a hydraulic detent auto cycle. When the ram comes out, that'll pop, it'll go back by itself, and then it'll pop. So that's a fairly robust, simple mechanism to control that, so that's great there. These are all Prince valves, readily available, really almost anywhere in the country. Any local hydraulic shop will have access to them. So you have easy maintenance. Up here, you've got your engine controller. This controls that German-made Hotz diesel engine, 56 horsepower, turbocharged. It shows you your RPMs, gallon per hours, coolant temps, and any error messages that pop up. And you can control your RPMs with these little buttons here. Turn the engine on and off here. And then you've got 3 pressure gauges for your 3 different pumps. One's monitoring your saw motor pressure. That's this valve down here. One's monitoring your bar pressure. That's this valve here. So that's how much pressure the bar is putting down on the log. And then the other's monitoring the main 22 gallon per minute pump. And that's your splitter auto cycle pressure gauge. That should be about 2,750 PSI. Your saw going at full engagement should be also at 2,750 PSI. And your bar, that's way down at about 200 PSI. So that's your operator station. Pretty simple, pretty robust. You've got a bar oil pump right here. So that's a 12-volt electronic pump. And you have a valve to control the flow. So when it's hot, you want to choke that flow right down so you're not throwing bar oil everywhere. And then in the wintertime, when that oil gets a little thick, you open that valve up to make sure you get proper lubrication on your chainsaw. Nice big sawdust chute here. You can see throws sawdust out pretty freely. Every once in a while it gets jammed, just stick a pole up there and unjam it, no big deal. Big hydraulic tank, 70 gallons right here. That ensures that the system has a lot of time to let the air bubbles come out, ensuring good fluid quality. And then we put our bar oil tank on top right here. That's about 5-6 gallons, and that really lets you run, multiple days without having to worry about the bar oil. By sitting on top of the hydraulic tank, lets it get warm in the wintertime, so it's flowing good. Got an oil cooler here. This is thermostatically controlled right there to keep the hydraulic oil temperature between 140 and 160 degrees. It'll turn on and off as needed. And then we've got our 3-section cast iron pump here, 22 gallons per minute on the main splitter section, 18 for the saw motor, and 12 for all the auxiliary components. And then underneath this beefy engine cover here, we've got our 3-cylinder Hots diesel engine. So your battery's in there, that makes that keep nice and warm so it runs good in the winter time. And you also got your fuel filter right in there, again keeping that warm. Always looking out for wintertime operation. And yeah, pretty nice little German unit right there. Big air clear on it, so it's not worrying about dust and stuff from the yard. Again, beefy frame rails. You can really see that up here. Look at the cross members. That's a full 5 inches there. And then on our trailer hitch, fully welded 5-inch seam right there. Fuel tank runs the full length of the machine. That's a 6x8 quarter wall tube. Holds about 30 gallons. It's going to give you an excess of 10 hours of runtime on the machine. This one here's got 2 5/16 ball. Pintle hitch is also available. Big back roller here. Now what this does for you, if you got like longer trees, it supports the back of that to help feed it in. And then you can even, if you got a tree that's not feeding right and you can't get it through your saw, you can back it off to the ground, pull it back up to rotate it. So that's a nice feature there. 4 7,000-pound jacks in all 4 corners. That lets you level the machine in pretty much any yard. And then you can see here the trees we got in the live deck. The live deck itself is 12 feet long, but you can easily put on a 24 to 30 foot piece if you got the butts that way. You can see these ones here are probably solid 24, and you could go even farther if you wanted to. Like when we put that one on there, that's a 30 footer. Now this is some small little ash stuff we got off a local clearing job, and it's pretty gnarly and nasty, you can see from a standpoint of feeding. So that top roll clamp, which we'll go over and take a visit on that one there, behind this here top roll clamp, it's got a hydraulic motor which is hidden right back here, which spins in conjunction with the feed trough motor here. So when you pull the feed trough motor valve, the feed trough feeds forward, and this roller is powered forward. You can see the teeth right there. So it has 2 modes of operation. It has float and down pressure. When it's in float, you got the weight of this roller, which is about 300 pounds when you consider the motor, the cylinder, and all of that, pressing down on the log, and allows the roller to float up and down easily over to help feed it in. Now that's also acting as your saw dog, so that's holding the log in place as the chainsaw cuts. By having that always engaged, you don't have to wait for the log dog to come up and down between each cut, so it improves your cycle time. The other advantage is if you have one that's not feeding quite right, you can put this into down pressure mode, and now you're going to put upwards of 1,000 pounds of downforce in the log, allowing that tooth to bite right into the log, and then you engage your motor, and that'll really suck most every log through. So that's a pretty good feature we have right there. And you can see cylinder, that's a 2-inch cylinder lifted up and down. The opening on this here allows for up to a 24-inch diameter piece to go in. Now, a 24-inch piece is not going to be fun to cut. It's a processor. You really want to stay in that 18-inch range, but you can do a 24-inch piece. And yeah, so that's about all I got to say about this here Pro HD. For the money, it's a hell of a lot of machine. You got a lot of iron in there, really built to last. One of the best diesel engines on the market. One neat thing about those Hots diesel engines, these were completely designed from the ground up to operate in this Tier 4 EPA emissions environment. So we've been using them for almost 4 years now, or maybe over 4 years now, I believe. Yeah, we are in our 5th year of using these engines, and they've proven to be a reliable workhorse for us. And their history, you can look them up, Hots, H-A-T-Z. They've been around for a long time in Europe, and they're an incredible motor. So all in all, really nice package. Make a great addition to any firewood business. And yeah, that's all I got today. So thanks, guys.